Hey there folks, this is just going to be a quick little video. A lot of you have asked about the $120 esports gaming PC, wondering what other types of games can it play. So I tested a couple of AAA titles on it to see how it fared. For those of you who are new or may not remember, the $120 esports PC is based off of a Dell Optiplex 780 with a Q6600 processor, 4GB of DDR3, a FirePro V5800 GPU, and a very meager 240 watt power supply, and a fully registered version of Windows 7. This system clearly isn't a 1080p gaming system, especially considering the price, but at lower resolutions this should do just fine, so all of the games we tested were at 720p. The first game I tested was GTA 5. I had a lot of people request that I test this, and it was quite playable with an average of 31 FPS at 720p low. During the more intense action moments, the GPU did let us down a bit, causing the frame rate to drop into the low 20s. It's still playable for a low-end gamer, but an elitist may not like playing this title on this system. Rise of the Tomb Raider at 720p low actually ran surprisingly well. With an average of 35.4 FPS, it was quite playable most of the time. However, worryingly, the game did stutter quite hard when loading in new assets onto the VRAM, causing very large frame dips down to the single digits for very brief but annoying periods of time. Even so, overall it was an acceptable gaming experience, especially considering the price. Fallout 4 was a bit of a mixed bag. The frame rates varied from quite excellent to pretty bad depending on what was going on. Again, when assets were loading in, it was particularly bad in the cities. The frame rates dropped to essentially zero. I looked into the issue and saw that during those frame dip moments, the GPU sat essentially idle. However, when the game wasn't loading in assets, it ran at a very smooth and playable 46 frames per second. The last game I tested was Doom at 720p low. At these settings, it was very playable most of the time. Again, there were slight stuttering issues when loading in assets, however not nearly as bad as Fallout 4. And during combat, the gameplay was very smooth, delivering a very nice average of 32 FPS, and it sometimes even reached as high as 64. Although this computer was never intended to AAA game, it probably could in a pinch if you're willing to deal with lower resolutions and lower frame rates. That being said, if I were to do this $120 PC build again, I could probably do it better, knowing what I know now, and due to the fact that prices are dropping on old Core i series Intel computers. But that'll have to be for another video. So, as always, thank you folks for watching, may your frame rates be high and your prices low, and I'll catch you folks next time.